Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Tysis, and we're here to talk about someone. Now, we did a previous video about JonTron, this YouTuber who was removed for doing, making racist comments in a Twitch stream, and he got removed from the ukulele game. However, another prominent YouTuber who has nearly about 4 million subscribers, Boogie2988, has been going on a bit of a defense of JonTron and his comments. Now, the thing about Boogie is he has a tendency of sitting in the middle. He loves to be a fence rider or a fence sitter, whatever word you like to use. And he always likes to be the common sense guy that stays in the middle on all sorts of internet debates and things like that. And the reason why is he has a lot of anxiety and he's absolutely petrified of people disliking him. He is like that kid at school that needs to be pleased and loved by everyone. It's some sort of obsession that he has, and it definitely comes out in his YouTube videos because he never really takes one side or the other, unless it's something like Nintendo's YouTube policies, where if it affects his money, then his views definitely does change. Now, in his defense, he actually attacked the mainstream media about JonTron, about his racism sort of comments. Now, I'm not too sure, but I think it's one of those conspiracy theory, paranoid sort of thoughts that, you know, the media are out to get you and all that sort of thing. But if you do make comments like this, you are going to get into trouble. It doesn't matter who you are. Now, I've said in previous videos that he's more concerned about fat shaming than anything else, which is interesting because it's the same sort of spectrum as racism and sexism and these comments and that, which are hurtful. However, he doesn't seem to be too upset about the racism comments. Now, what I also think that he has this thing about approaching the situation with tolerance and patience and understanding, and, you know, being in the middle ground of things. But the problem is racism is one of those things where you can't sit in the middle. You're either racist or you're not. It's only two sides. You know, what's the middle ground that he's trying to look for? You like African Americans, but you hate Asians. Is that what the middle ground is? And that's the problem with this approach with tolerance when it comes to these type of situations. Now, and of course, most of JonTron's fan base and many people on the internet do not understand the freedom of speech. Doesn't free you from the consequences of what may happen if you say and do certain things. However, there's been some other comments, interesting comments that Boogie has said online, and I'm going to read them out. Very, very interesting. It really explains a bit about his psyche. So this gentleman, he looks African American, made a video to Boogie about his sort of thoughts about his stance on JonTron, and he said, look, you know, I'm black African American, this is hurtful, this is normalizing the situation and all that sort of stuff. Then Boogie actually makes a comment on the video saying, hey man, thank you for speaking your mind. I've heard from lots of people who feel the way you do, but this really drove it home. I understand why you were disappointed. In retrospect, I believe I feel the same. I'm genuinely sorry for any damage I did with this. So he's willing to change his mind off that. And some people believing that he is a liar and he flip-flops a lot, and he does. He will change opinions on a whim when it comes to this sort of stuff, which is shocking. So and the other one is someone commented, you think any Holocaust survivors feel that PewDiePie was okay to say what he did? It's okay, right, as long as he's joking. Boogie's reply was, I would imagine that some Holocaust victims, the few that are living, probably do in fact have a sense of humor. I don't know, 100% though. Wow, he would actually think the Holocaust survivors would find it funny. And that is a really surprising and shocking thing if that's true or not. His other comment on Twitter that I saw was, make no mistake through it, there are some key players doing everything they can to damage John in his career because they don't like his views. So that was part of the paranoia, paranoid about the media getting out and getting them and things like that. So there are a few other comments, but let's get to the nut and bolts of it now. So he did this letter, so he's taken the middle ground, and for once it didn't work for him, and now he's panicking. He doesn't know if he should defend JonTron. He doesn't know if he goes against, because either way, he's going to get people getting upset at him. Now, he said he thought that tolerance would be the answer, but now he believes, I'm normalizing the situation, and children are going to see this, and it's going to be bad for him, and all that sort of thing. Then he goes on and starts blaming his mental illness. Now, he has clinical depression and high anxiety issues, as I said before, but the fact that he goes off and starts blaming his mental illness seems like a really, it's a cop-out. I have clinical depression and anxiety issues and had family issues similar to him, but it did not make me start to sympathize with racists, So I think him blaming his mental illness is a very, very poor move from him. The biggest thing was he didn't actually know what JonTron said. Wow. And like a house of cards, all came down. He actually had no idea what he was saying, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. That he goes and says, I did not know that those was the comments that JonTron was saying. And he's now shocked, and he's actually done some research. And it's really sad when someone like me, who only has about 365 subscribers, does more research than the bloke who knows JonTron and has about 4 million subscribers to his name. He did less research than me. So he didn't even watch the stream. I watched about half of it, the nuts and bolts of it. I read a few articles. I did not read a couple raggy online articles and then just took the judgment and just went, they're just bagging JonTron out because like they did to me a few years ago, and all the other people, and Colin from Kind of Funny who's left, and they've gone off and he's made this response video based on no information that he has said, and it is very, very scary. So maybe he understands that he's a fence sitter now, and this is not a very, very good thing. So really, in a nutshell, about this whole issue, Boogie has created himself a mess, and I think he comes across as someone who is fairly fake, because he will take the popular side, equal rights for gay marriage and, equality rights and sexism and things like that. But if you do notice the videos that these people make, it is normally defending a male. You'll never see them defend a female or talk about what men have been doing wrong. They normally take the side of the male, and they'll look at the most extreme feminist who's doing the wrong thing, because there's always a few bad eggs in the dozen or so eggs. So he's a flip-flopper, and I think it's poor, and I think the letter was a really poor damage control video. My honest opinion, I don't really believe what he says. I think that he really has no idea what he's talking about. And a lot of these videos that he does about debates and that, he's so neutral and on the fence. I don't think he needs to research the topic. He just reads the headline and go, oh, well, let's just all come to the middle and just do. And when you listen to these type of videos he makes, he doesn't seem to research much of it at all. So Boogie's the classic person because he wants to sit on the fence so he can keep on making money from YouTube, because that would be the only type of work he can do at his age and his current health disabilities. So that's it from me, and I shall see you later on.